All right, welcome back to Cool Times Podcast. We talk all things cool about the cold storage construction industry. We have an awesome show today, in-house studio with one of our elite platinum stud sponsored members of the show.
From the beginning.
The OG. You guys are going to love this, dude. Check out what we have in store today. Mr. Dwight Clark from Jamison.
Yes.
Hey, Dwight, how are you, man?
Hey, good morning.
Welcome. We're so
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
Thank you.
Dude.
Finally, we've been trying to make this happen for 2 years.
It's been a long time, Dwight.
Yeah, it has.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not.
I love it. Well, you're a stud. You've been around the cold storage industry for many, many years, and I've known you for many, many years. And for our listeners out there, let's talk a little bit about who Dwight Clark is, where you work, what do you do, what besides golf, what do you do all day now, man? Who is Dwight Clark?
He's really good at golf.
Oh,
Who is
yeah,
Dwight?
right. Yeah. But no, I'm president and CEO of Jamison Door Companies. We have 5 manufacturing plants, but then we also are owned by BNP Europe, who was, Danilo Bonota was one of our joint venture partners.
Wow.
For the high-speed roll-ups. And so now he's acquired majority control of the company. So now we're working on the next 100 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. So Danilo, is that his name? Did he move to US now, and is he like getting his feet wet within all the operations of all the different things that Jamison does?
He's based in Alba, Italy.
Okay.
And so he's also acquiring more companies, things like that. So even though buying our group of companies was his biggest single acquisition, still he bought a condo out here, but he's never there. So he's really holding down the fort in Italy.
Awesome. So Jamison makes a wide variety of doors. I know you guys make cold storage doors. Literally, they're tanks. They're built awesome. You've been doing that for a long time. You got into some high-speed impactable biparting style doors. Now you're into the high-speed roll-up doors. You guys have the HCR air doors.
Yes, we did.
You have a awesome FRP door line as well. Did I get all that, or you got more? You got more products?
What else is
Well, yeah, we have more products. Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, we even have, oddly enough, sound specialty. So we do the back end of performing arts centers, things like
Wow.
that, giant acoustical doors. We do jet engine test cells, all types of things like that. It's just kind of one of our specialties that we do that nobody kind of knows we do it unless you're in that industry.
Wow.
Interesting. Like, what would you say is Jamison's biggest? Like, is cold your biggest, or?
Right. Yeah. Our history is built on temperature controlled environments.
Okay.
So back when we're approximately 118-year-old company.
Wow.
So we're one of the original big 3 cold storage door manufacturers back in the day. It was Butcher Boy out of Wisconsin. It was Jamison, and it was Clark Door.
Wow.
So we're the survivor
Yes, I was
from
going
the
to say.
original. And we're still, and we're thriving.
That's amazing.
Indeed you are, man. Yeah, at one point you guys had lead times that were 16, 18 weeks at one point. You guys got so popular at one point, right?
The demand.
I was not very comfortable with that.
Do you not want to talk about that?
No, not particularly.
We don't want to relive that part.
Everybody was that busy though. That's not that's not on you and your manufacturing,
Yeah,
inability to produce what you had. It's just everybody got really busy.
Yeah, fortunately, we still could make doors faster than the panel manufacturers could make the panels. So that gave us a little grace.
Wow.
Fair enough.
You're gonna make sure Jay Smith listens to this one.
Hey, Jay.
Tell us, tell our listeners too, like, how did you get into cold storage? How did you get into Jamison? Tell us about your path to the cold industry.
Okay. Well, after graduating from the University of Puget Sound Go Loggers out of Tacoma, Washington, I moved down to Southern California. And one of my first jobs was working at financial planning at the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena.
Okay.
So my dad, who was a corporate director at Boeing, he was head of security and fire for like 35 years. He was used to be FBI under J. Edgar Hoover, so he was like the real deal FBI agent. If any FBI agents are listening, they won't like that. But he always said, hey, get in business for yourself. So, all right, what am I going to do? So somebody I knew had a repping company and wanted to sell it. So after thinking about it for a couple of years, I went from Dwight, the financial analyst, doing cost and variance analysis and reconciliation of the prime contract with NASA between JPL and NASA, to Dwight, the door guy.
Dwight the door guy.
And I got into this industry. I kind of bought my way in. And I knew literally absolutely nothing about doors. Day one, it's, just showing me what a jamb was, how a regular office door is constructed.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
Right.
Yes, you can.
That's awesome.
So, and that's where it started. And so I learned the industry from the Southern California contractors. So that's where I met Dean Saul when he was working for our coal.
Dean Saul, another Dean Saul alert.
Yeah, I sold Dean his first door.
Cheers,
hey, Dean. Yeah, cheers, Dean.
Yeah, cheers, dude.
But
We used to do shots, but it's really early today.
Yeah.
So the Southern California contractors like Tricom and the various companies. So, I was a nice kid from the suburbs of Seattle, and I'm thrown in with a bunch of pirates, seemingly. You just didn't see the Jolly Roger flag over their businesses.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody was smarter than me. I had no street smarts whatsoever. But I was committed to it. I bought in. And so then I just started learning through the School of Hard Knocks. And then the question is, hey, does it go national? The experiences we had in Southern California, they transfer across the country, around the world, and they do. Same, cold storage is cold storage.
That's absolutely incredible. Does your family know exactly what you do still? Do they understand what cold storage doors are yet?
Yes, they finally do.
They do now?
But maybe it was only 6 years ago.
I can relate to that. So you're also serving on the board for the GCCA, the Global Cold Chain Alliance.
That's right.
You were a SEBA board member.
Right.
We're all under the same umbrella, but you ditched us and you went to GCCA.
Well,
do you want to talk a little bit about your role and what you're doing and tell everyone what GCCA is?
Sure. The Global Cold Chain Alliance, this is the cold chain around the world, from shipping, trucking, the whole transportation. But what we talk about mostly are the warehouses. And it's how things get from the farm all the way to the fork, just how we keep things cold and safe all through the whole cold chain. Yeah, I was on the SEBA board for back when it was IASIC, to the name change to SEBA, to broaden it, and through the whole broadening of this. And I was on that board for 19 years, almost 20 years. But you can only serve on one board in this association. So somehow my name came up when they were looking at kind of mixing up the boards a little bit to get some more new voices in, And so I came up on the GCCA board. And my guess is I was the least controversial choice.
Well, they are lucky to have you.
You're safe. You're safe. That's awesome. So, are you going to Maui?
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
That's a really cool thing too, because the GCCA and SEBA, we all partner and we're all going, we're all going, away from our home bases and we're all getting together and we are going to strategize and talk and how we can grow the industry and spread the word.
Yeah, it just really sucks. I wish they would pick better places.
Yeah.
Maui.
Before that was Barcelona.
I know. It's just so complicated.
Yeah. But the neat thing about that, so I'm attending these events and I meet Marianne Kinsel from Australia, and she's with the Refrigerated Trucking and Warehousing Association in Australia. And I've gotten to know her and some of the Australian folks. And so she knows I'm going over to Australia in June to see hopefully our new grandbaby.
Very cool.
Number one.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And for those that don't know, I only have one child, and this is the first grandchild. Yeah. So for us, it's a big deal.
And she lives in Australia.
And she lives in Perth, Australia, which is Western Australia, which people aren't even aware, how remote this is. But Marianne, who heads the association, she knows I'm coming over. So we're kicking around organizing an event for Western Australia and bring the cold chain people together.
That's amazing.
So
yeah, isn't that neat?
It's cool. It's cool to share the technologies, which the Europe, and we don't understand a lot what's going on over there and how they do things. So this whole organization is tying these two things together and looking at innovation and technology and how to be more energy efficient. So that's really a focal point right now, and it's really cool to go overseas and see all what they're doing and how we're different from them.
Also, in November, I keep whacking this table. Sorry about that. In November, the European GCCA had their meeting in Milan. And so I went over there with Mike McClendon. And of course, he's, we don't, even though you might be the president of the association or something like that, you don't necessarily attend all these meetings. But there was another reason, because I took him over to Italy to see BNP.
Yeah.
So I ended up crashing the board meeting there. Mike was fine because he's the president of GCCA. But I end up, I'm sitting at a long table with all the European partners, and nobody knows who I am, right? Of course. And then Mike calls on me because I had just come from SEBA, from Palm Springs. And I just come from SEBA, and he said, hey, why don't you just tell them what's going on at SEBA? So I explained what our key takeaways from Palm Springs and talked about the best of the best, our initiatives that were going on, certifications, things like that. And all of a sudden, they all started talking about participating more in the United States, events, just being aware of the really neat things that we're doing, and we're growing and expanding from SEBA. Now getting the message out effectively. Had an opportunity, and hopefully we'll see some more European participation.
That's awesome.
That's huge. So all those things are helping our industry stay current with trends and technology. How is Dwight and Jamison, and your Italian owner now at BPM? BNP, sorry, BNP.
Right.
BNP.
Yes, that's fine.
I buy so many of those doors, I should probably know that by now. So with BNP, how are you guys staying, I guess, current with industry trends and advancements in technology?
Or are you seeing any new ones too?
Yeah.
Right. As far as technology versus what's kind of changing, these acquisitions, things like that, what we are doing is we're creating a worldwide door company for all the thermal envelopes around the world, right? Yeah. We're also being able to introduce internationally more technologies from different places. So maybe Europe has a door technology that North America would be interested in. So we can deliver that to North America, vice versa.
Wow.
Most of the world hasn't heard of HCR. And so they have no idea how we can reduce that infiltration into their freezers and eliminate all that ice.
Yeah.
Make them more energy efficient.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. And then we're combining the products. We'll take HCR technology and mix it in with the BNP technology. And so we're mixing in air doors and roll-up doors, things like that, to give the contractors an easy footprint to install. So it's pretty interesting. But what works for us is that since we have these still state-of-the-art door technology, which is HCR,
for sure,
without question,
for sure,
that makes us very interesting to people to just have good conversations with their engineers. But then it allows us then to introduce all the other products too. And what we're trying to do, it's more of with contractors, we're bidding. You're asking specifically a certain door, and we're going to talk about that door and quote that door.
Sure.
When I'm with an end user or a design firm, I'm talking conceptually more of what are you trying to achieve in this area? What are you doing here? And then what mix of door technologies to deliver the most energy efficient, most efficient from an operation standpoint solution.
Yeah. Are you guys doing like energy studies and surveys when you have an application, say 1,000 cycles a day and you're 35 to -10 and you're in a high humidity environment? Do you guys provide energy surveys based on application?
Yeah, that's we do it all the time. And we've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah, I know, because one of our segments in our show is like cool moments. And this entire show is sponsored by our good friends at Jamison.
Yes.
We appreciate your support and all the listeners out there. We thank you guys for listening. They right here are a big part of why we exist. They help with all the production costs and doing the podcast. We love you all for that.
Yes.
The cool moment story segment, due to when I was used to sell doors, I used to sell an air door. And I would compete against you guys. I would compete against you. And it was Christine at the time, right?
And Christine, yes.
Yeah, Christine.
Yeah, Gritis.
Yeah. You remember your old project called Dominic's in Chicago?
Yes.
That was awesome. So I'll tell a quick story. So when I was selling doors, we had a grocery, it was a grocery DC down in Chicago. And the applications were side by side. And this engineer at the time at Dominic's was very into, comparisons and energy and all this stuff. And I don't know what the outcome was, but we had an opportunity to put our air door against the HDR air door and run tests and all this other stuff. It was fun. I mean, I was still pretty new in the industry, and I was like, I learned a lot, right? I mean, yeah, it was fun. Right. Was that a cool moment for you, or not at all?
Yes.
Or did that drive you? Or did that drive you crazy?
No. It's those are always, those are the things you remember.
Yeah, for sure.
It just stands out.
It does. It does. Yeah, the HDR door is it's a phenomenal product. It works, man. You go into any Costco and you see them there too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Every Costco?
Yeah, we're every Costco.
That's awesome.
And Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So describe the air door, what it looks like, and what does it do?
Mm-hmm. So it's the HDR, which is horizontal, curvilinear, recirculatory. So what we're doing is...
Can you say that 10 times fast?
No. It would just get really weird. But what we're doing is we're using, in its most basic level, like on a cooler, and we're not treating the air to a non-frost state.
Right.
If we're just treating with air, what we're doing is we're pushing back the naturally occurring two-way air exchange at doorways.
Sure.
So we know the mass and the velocity of air at every inch of a doorway. And so our curtain is designed, our air curtain, it's not like a downblast air curtain. That's just blasting air and it's just brute force.
Did you ever walk through those air doors when you're going through a door and it's blowing your wig off? Right?
I just shaved my head, so I never went through the wig scene. Anyway, but
that's not an air door.
That's not an air door.
You got an air door.
That's an air curtain blaster, but
Yeah,
it's not a door. We're actually creating a wall of air.
Yep.
And so we're capturing the core of the air on the other side of the opening and recirculating it and creating a continuous wall of air. Mm-hmm. So of course, most people have no idea when they walk through an HDR air curtain at a Costco or a Sam's Club, just what happened. They just feel a little bit of air. It's not like a lot of air.
Right.
And it's instantly cold.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's cool.
There's physics afoot there. Mm-hmm. It's a combination of the physics and also application of the technology. And so there's a cabal of knowledge that goes along with just the basic principles of what we're doing. Yeah. And so that's what our team is focused on every day, and people really appreciate it.
Yeah. And when you get into a freezer application, you'll add a secondary air door. So you have two of them, each blowing air in a different direction. You guys are basically mapping out the psychrometric curve, finding a dew point, and introducing heat in a freezer application to make sure you guys don't get any ice condensation or frost buildup in the freezer.
That's right. We're going to.
How'd I do?
That is really good. And I'd only just say we're going to bump it out of the supersaturation, and we know just the right amount of heat. Yep. It's not much, but you have to know what it is. And that's how we get the energy efficiency. We're not just cooking, just throwing heat at something. It's very designed. And then it's like magic.
It's unique too, because you guys, when you condition heat that air, it's very important to recapture that air. Because you don't want that heat to just be thrown into the dock or thrown in the freezer and add all this heat load to your freezer. You guys recapture and do such a good job recapturing that treated air and recirculating that treated air.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I sold these before.
Way to go. Yeah, if you're looking for a job.
That sounded pretty good.
That was good.
I miss it. I miss them door sales, man.
Do you miss being a door-to-door door salesman?
I do, yeah. My friends used to call me a door-to-door door salesman.
That's what they thought he did.
Yeah.
Anyways,
old joke.
Anyways, enough about all of that.
Yeah.
Yes. Why don't we got to hear your cool moment. But Dwight, do you have a cool moment that you want to share, a cool story, something that stands out in your mind of working in specifically the cold industry that you'd want to share?
Oh, okay. Probably, and this would be something you wouldn't know about, But when the Walmart distribution center opened in Calgary, Canada, we did their one in Mississauga, the first one, with HCR technology. And then we did the Calgary, and we're working with their head of construction design up there. And the energy savings that they calculated doing the HCR, using the HCR solution, was so significant that when it opened, and I'm up in Canada, right? And I'm surrounded by local politicians, national politicians. I don't know who anybody is.
Right.
And it's just me and a bunch of people I don't know, except for this one guy. And they have a stage, they have lighting, they have an announcing system. It was a really big thing. There was media there.
Wow.
And they called me up on stage and gave me an award on behalf of HCR
Wow.
for energy savings. So I have a little plaque from Canada from that
Oh
moment.
my gosh.
Yeah, my career's been all downhill from there.
Jeez.
That's my pinnacle.
Dude, that's really a cool moment and a very cool story. So on top of that, two-part question. So what sets Jamison apart from the competition? And if I were trying to buy a door, why should I buy from you?
Okay. The first one's easy because it's our people.
Okay.
We have a 118-year tradition of really, really committed, good employees. And we've created a culture of excellence. I mean, that's overdone. That's a cliche, really. Culture of excellence. But we really have. And we also have the combination of just not only good people, but then years and years of experience.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't come out quite right in the field, we dive on it to understand what went wrong. How do we do it? Track it back to whatever it was. If it's a design change, a manufacturing change, whatever it is. So we have this whole body of knowledge to go along with great employees.
That's a good combination.
Yeah. And probably why you'd want to buy from us, it depends who you are. If you're like an end user, you'd want to buy from us for, the quality, how long the products last, things like that. So we're a really good long-term value. We're not the cheapest, and most of the time we're the most expensive, but it's how long the product lasts. So it's not that initial cost, it's long-term. So the people that are value buying, we're their supplier.
I understand.
If they look at it like that.
Yeah.
So, but for a contractor, we're also trying to make it as easy as possible for you to buy the product. So we have arguably the best salespeople. They've been great a long time. They're extremely experienced people. And we have really good customer service. Our manufacturing, we have a culture of shipping on schedule and shipping accurately. So we don't send out a bunch of mistakes out to the field that have to be done. And so you can just run your projects. So it kind of depends who you are, what part of that, which value proposition is the most meaningful to you.
Yeah. Love that.
So if people want to learn more about what Jamison is doing, or they want to see some pictures of these doors that we're talking about, where would they go to do that? Are you on the socials? What's your website?
Right. Yeah, we're on social media.
Are you
LinkedIn.
on Twitter?
It's called
An X. Of course, our website, jamisondoor.com.
Okay.
So we have all our product lines on there, and we have history of the company. Also, it's through our sales reps. They're listed on the website, but you can just ask around really quick. You can find our sales reps around the country. Or you can just call me, call our customer service. Anybody will talk to you. You can learn all about us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I like that you are very reachable because, someone in your position, you're obviously very busy running a company still. And we can still, as a low-time contractor and many of our peers in the industry, when they needed something from you guys, I can text you and you get back to me. The dumbest questions. I think I texted you the other day about how thick is your face frame because I need to know how far to, pour a concrete thing off the wall.
1.5 inches.
Yeah, it's very cool that you're still approachable and reachable and all that stuff.
Thank you.
Even being the man.
Thank you.
It's very cool.
Thank you. Well, it's my misspent professional career. This is what I do.
I love it.
You know, it's you guys. And that's the other part about the industry. You know, there's finances, you know, obviously you need to make money to exist. But this industry kind of rewards you through relationships.
Sure.
Yeah, it really does.
It does.
Yeah.
How much longer do you want to do this?
Danilo Bonotto has something to say about that. And I'm also here to support him.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, as long as he needs me, you know, that's my commitment to it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not to put you on the spot or anything, but
Yeah, exactly.
I found out people in this industry do not like to retire. They just love what
They don't.
No, they love what we do so much. It's like people
Yeah.
really don't like retiring in our industry.
Yeah.
I mean, they just
have a lot of fun too.
we do. I mean,
And
you miss
Good
the
people,
yep.
you
Yep.
Yeah.
miss those connections.
I mean, we
So,
have superintendents that try to retire 3 times, and then they
Yep.
call me 3 months later. Man, I'm bored. The wife wants me out of the house. No, I mean they get bored. They want to get back in and be around what they love. You know, so I can see that as a trend. Maybe not healthy, but
Yeah.
It might
It's
not
probably
be.
not very
It
healthy.
might not be.
it's probably not healthy.
Yeah, most people, I think, average retirement age is like 62 in this country.
Yeah,
What's it in our industry?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
80. I would guess 80.
Yeah.
I guess 80, possibly, if we can live that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
all of our trade show parties, I don't know how much wears on us. It's not a party. It's a family gathering.
It is.
It is.
So what's your favorite trade show or conference and why?
Well, historically it's going to be CBOT. And again, coming from the West Coast to East Coast, now I've met so many people, and it's harder and harder for me to travel and see people. So it's only at those moments that I can actually get to see most of the people that I really miss seeing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, is there anything else you want to add to the show before I get into the fun rapid round questions where I get to berate you with nonsense?
No, that's it. That's,
Well, that's awesome. And thank you so much for being a supporter of Cool Times from day one.
oh, sure.
We really appreciate you and we appreciate Jamison. And this would not be possible without that. So thank you.
Absolutely. You ready to answer some tough questions?
Okay, all right.
Really tough.
Really, really tough.
These are challenging.
Oh, no.
They're fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's
Everything's
another
fine.
day.
All right. This is the cool wraparound question, sponsored by the one and only Dwight Clark from Jamison Doors. You actually sponsored what I'm about to do to you.
Okay, all right.
So, all right, we're gonna learn a lot about you right now. Okay, would you rather owe money or owe a favor?
Oh, money.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Be embarrassed or be afraid?
Wow.
That's actually a hard one.
Yeah, it's like two sides of the same coin.
Right?
Be afraid.
Okay.
There you go. City or countryside?
Countryside.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
You a camping guy or a glamping guy?
It'd be clamping.
There you go. Okay. Cooking or being cooked for?
Cooking.
Attend a party or host a party?
Host.
Like that. Guess we're going to his house.
I guess so.
Darn
Which is
right.
good because
I've
I
got
like to
a-
attend parties.
And I've got a lot of Italian wines.
Fantastic.
Oh, I know. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooking
Twist our arm. Are you a hot coffee guy or iced coffee guy?
Hot.
There you go. Cash or credit?
Cash.
High-speed bipart door? High-speed roll-up door?
I better say high-speed roll-up door.
But you make a good bipart door. That's
I
impactful
better
and high speed.
say
Oh, boy.
that is funny you'd ask that question.
Of course he would.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
For Danilo Bonotto, where's the camera?
Yeah, it's right there.
High-speed roll-up door.
Boom! You have a 35 to 40 degree cold dock. and you are going into an office, would you install a 3x7 Jamison cooler hinge door or an 1 3/4 Jam-A-Tough FRP door?
I'd want to check the moisture on that cool side, but I'd go with the Jam-A-Tough probably.
Yeah, the FRP door.
FRP.
We didn't talk enough about that product. That product's badass.
Well, we'll save that for next time.
Yeah.
We love it. And we have a pharmaceutical line coming out here.
Do you really?
We're going to Interfex here next month, and we're launching the pharmaceutical line. It's all based off the Jam-A-Tough, but all designed for pharma.
We went through an entire show, and you did just now bringing this up. That is awesome.
That's very
What
cool.
else can you tell us about it?
We're going to be showing a sliding type, a swing pharmaceutical, and also the CB125, which is the high-speed roll-up door for pharmaceutical.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
seals up super tight.
Awesome. So when is that? When is it launching, and how can our guests find it?
Okay, we're going to be launching at Interfex in New York City in the middle of April. I think it's like 16th, 17th, 18th. Check those dates. I don't remember exactly.
So by the time this is out, the show's over. So are you gonna? Are these products gonna be online?
Yeah, we'll have them online.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, my last question, man. Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake?
Timberlake.
I love it.
Good answer.
That's a good answer.
Especially around Mr. Free.
Yes, sir.
Really?
I love it. Dwight Clark, you are a legend. We are going to have you back on the show at the end of the year, and we are going to talk more about what you guys are evolving into and products coming out. This was a awesome time to get you into Texas quick.
Going to be meeting and
We just do meetings.
yeah.
That's very cool, my friend. For all the listeners out there, you guys can find our work on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We post like a little 30-second highlight clip, and then you can actually click on the links. You can watch our show on YouTube, subscribe to Cool Times Podcast on YouTube, everybody, and also you can listen to it. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can listen to the show in your car on Rewind.
Okay.
So, all right, Dwight. We love you, my guy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys are great hosts. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Until next time, everybody, we will chat with you guys soon on Cool Times Podcast. Thank you.